moving a loved one into memory care is never easy. You have the expectations, and then you're faced with the reality of it. And these are the top 10 things that I wish I had been warned of prior to moving my mom into memory care. Hi, I'm Janie. Welcome to my channel, Raising Mom with Janie. So let's get started. I'm going to start from 10, and I'm going to work my way up to 1 with the top 3. Maybe as surprising for you as it was for me. So number 10 is there is a transition phase once you move someone in. It's typically 4 to 6 weeks before they settle down and they get into the routine of what's happening. And the drama stops. And by drama, I mean it's similar to like when you drop a toddler off. You know, there's please don't leave me, please don't leave me. But then you step out of the room and you step back in and they don't know you're there and you're watching and they're just playing, having a great time, they're fine. And there are still good days and bad days when that happens, but for the most part, it's very limited. Number 9 is the dress code. I used to worry about how my mom looked, and I would always make sure everything was matching. I mean, she was that person that from her shoes to her toes to her ears, everything matched. And these days, I am just incredibly thankful that she's just wearing everything that she's supposed to be wearing. 8, our showers. They don't happen on a regular basis like they would if you had them at the house. A couple times a week if you're lucky, and then they just, get washed up intermittent in between as needed. If the shower's needed, they'll throw them in. But as a routine, it's twice a week typically. Which is number 7. Increase in UTIs, because as much as they would love to change your relative or take them to the restroom on the hour, it doesn't happen. And so oftentimes it increases their risk with UTIs. You need to watch for those symptoms because a UTI in an elderly person can throw them into catastrophic things. So you need to be aware of that, and the staff that's with them needs to be aware of the symptoms to watch out for them and be trained adequately for that. Number 6 is dietary changes. It's going to happen. Things that they've always eaten their whole life, they may not like anymore. They've never eaten that. They don't like that. Things they've never eaten in their whole life. My mother has never eaten fish. She'll chop on it. If you don't tell her it's fish, she'll just eat away on it. Number 5, things are going to come up missing. Those that are ambulatory in memory care or can jump in their wheelchair and take off like my mom will just pick up stuff randomly. They think it's theirs. They don't know. So just make sure everything is labeled with their name on it, and that includes supplies because those will grow legs and leave as well. Number 4 is the crazy stories that you're going to hear. Oh my goodness, my mom tells me some of the wildest stories, and sometimes the stories, especially when she's upset, there's a touch of reality that's happening in there, so pay attention to the stories they tell you. Some of the stories like, oh, I dated Elvis, I rode on his tour bus. Like, no. Okay, not happening. And now let's get to the top 3 that are the most concerning for me. Number 3 is there is increased risk in falls. And that's because as the disease progresses, they forget that they need the walker, that they need the wheelchair, they need the rollator. Or they just don't. Their muscle memory, their knees will just collapse on them for no apparent reason. And so it's kind of a scary thing, but it happens.
So unfortunately, Mumsy did sustain a fall on July 20th, and she has a humeral head fracture that we have been dealing with and coping with and getting through that process. She's doing great. She is healing very well, but it has been a crazy, long, stressful ride, and I will probably do a video in the future dedicated solely to falls. But anyway, we're doing great, so thanks.
Number 2. No matter what the facility tells you, unless you are in a very high end paying a lot of money, there is a high turnover of not only the caregivers, but the med techs, as well as management. They can be gone drop of an eye. You're like, hey, I haven't seen so-and-so around. Is it been her days off? What's going on? Oh, no, she's gone. Oh, she's been gone for 2 weeks. Oh, okay, great. Because they move around so much, you don't always see them when you come in. I go every day, and I still don't see everybody all the time. And then the number 1, which is the biggest concern for me, is that when I signed the contract for my mom, it says until end of life, and that is not necessarily true. In the fine print, it says, provided we are still able to provide the type of care necessary. And I've watched many a friend have to relocate their parents at the very end because of that statement. it is very hard. So those are my top 10 things I wish I had known prior to moving my mom in. Would it have changed anything? No, but I would have felt better prepared. So I hope they help you out just a little bit. And if you have a top 10 list, hey, hit me with it. I'd love to know. Also, if you're moving someone into memory care, I have recently published 2 books. One is called Apple's Brain Train Jumps the Tracks, as well as Me Mom Moves into Memory Care. And both of these books deal with going through the Alzheimer's or the dementia phases. They are primarily for 3 to 7-year-olds to help them with this information and to help them understand what's going on their level. They're very bright, colorful, easy to read, and they're just fun. They have a few games at the end that will help. So once again, thank you so much. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you watching. And if you could subscribe, it helps my channel grow. Also, if you like this video and you want more of it, please hit the like button. If you know somebody who's going through this, please hit the share button and send it their way. Once again, thank you so much. And remember, life is a gift. Please cherish it always. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.